All right, welcome back to another exciting episode of Managing Through a Pandemic. I'm Chip Rarig, your City Administrator, Director of Emergency Services. Chief Paul Tomasi, Director of all things Public Safety. And then it's our real pleasure, so today's the 22nd, a little after 9. My extreme pleasure to welcome Brandon Swanson as our new Community Planning and Building Director. Very pleased to have you here, Brandon. Grateful that you returned after Wednesday night's special city council meeting on picnicking, so thank you for coming back.
Of course, yeah.
You want to introduce yourself to the literally millions of people who watch this vlog? Fire away.
Absolutely, thanks. I mean, I'll try not to get too nervous. No, thanks. My name's Brandon Swanson. Nice to meet everybody out there and here.
Say hello to my mom.
What's that?
Say hello to my mother.
Hi, Chip's mom. Yep. Isn't your mom's name Dorothy?
It is.
And that's my daughter's name.
Yep.
I have a 9-year-old daughter and a wife. We live in Pacific Grove, just across the hill. I want to just start by thanking Chip and the executive team for having me come join the group here. Really excited. I'm stepping into the director role, which Marnie's been doing before me. Doing an excellent job. I've already been working with her this week. She's fantastic, so I'm excited to collaborate with her and the rest of the team. Just a little bit about me. I've been in the area for over 15 years, in Pacific Grove, just over the hill. And so I know Carmel really well. It's a super special place to me. I think the word I used in my interview was magic. It's a magic place. So I am really excited to be here and sort of like keep that magic going and see where we can take it together over the next few years. I really understand the delicate balance that's here in the city. It's such a wonderful place. I'm really excited to get out and meet people. Obviously, this is a weird time to do that with what we have to do. I'm a very available person. If anybody out there wants to have a Zoom meeting or a Google meeting with me to meet face-to-face, at least over the computer, I'm glad to do that. I know this community is all about relationships, and I want to start building those. I have a background in planning. I've been managing the planning department at the county for the last several years, and I'm excited to bring that planning knowledge here to the city with all of our special and unique challenges and opportunities that we have. So that's pretty much it for me. I just thank you all for having me, and I'm excited to meet everybody. A little clumsy. Excited to meet everybody out there, and thank you very much for having me.
Of course.
Great.
Of course. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. We feel like we stole you from the county, so with your experience, you're a great asset to this community, and we're glad to have you. So welcome aboard.
Thanks, Chief.
Yeah, no love child jokes, Chief, please. No, Brandon, you bring the knowledge, skills, and experience that we were looking for, and you're going to be a great fit. So really, really welcome.
Thank you.
Super happy to have you here. So
Thanks.
Thank you. We did have a very exciting city council, special city council meeting on Wednesday night. And out of that meeting, this is regarding the concept of picnicking in the right-of-way. So picnicking in the outdoor seating, which is in parking spaces on the street. And we had 3 homework assignments from the council. I think did you get all 3 of those assignments?
In partnership with Marnie, yeah, but I think it's a little trial by fire, which I appreciate. So we got a couple of homework assignments coming out of that meeting. The first one is to look into some of the insurance issues, make sure that if we're going to do it, everyone's covered and that we've got that insurance out there, and that it'll do what we need it to do. The second one is to loop in with the state health department and make sure they're going to be okay with that. We've got some contacts going through Laird's office right now. I tried to make that connection with the state health department to get some direction. And then lastly, just to check in with the state alcohol board, the ABC, to make sure that they're not going to need different or new types of permits. So, the council was interested in finding out what could be done with respect to serving alcohol outside. So we're working on those, and we're going to try to get those answers really quick.
Awesome. Yeah, so we'll be back on the 2nd. Mm-hmm. We have 2 other really kind of major topics for the 2nd, the regular city council meeting of the 2nd. One will be mid-year budget review, and we'll review the budget calendar for our 21-22 fiscal year. And then Paul's going to talk about the Monterey, give us an update, and ask for some direction on the Monterey fire RFP, or just the fire RFP really is what it is. So, as we're talking about picnicking and trying to help our restaurant community, and more so trying to help the employees within the restaurant community, Brandon and I are Pogrovians. But I was really pleased to see the very progressive approach that the entire city council, all 7 of them, God bless, took in Pacific Grove the other night regarding capping the food delivery fees at 15%. And I think it's something we should talk about or think about, at least internally. I think there are some slippery slope issues there. But again, the notion of the picnicking is something that we are doing not for us, not for the city, but for the restaurateurs and their employees. And what I've learned from the restaurateurs is per meal, they're on a profit margin of between 4% and 6%, which is not a lot. So again, if you're paying a food delivery service fee of 15, 20, 30%. That can certainly cut into margins. So any perspective, either of you?
I think you're right, Chip. I think that, the city, under your leadership was one of the first out of the gates with, the parklets and the outdoor dining and getting that out. So I think that it would be really in keeping with our goals of trying to keep progressive and keep thinking about how we can sustain the community here. Mm-hmm. So I think it'd be good to look into that. You continue to be a leader in that.
Ditto.
There is actually a food delivery employee cooperative that was started recently by one of our restaurateurs. And I think there are about 8 restaurants involved in it right now. I know it's featured on the Visit Carmel website, so take a look at that. But that might be something, and again, that's working for restaurant employees are actually the deliverer, doing the delivery.
Yeah.
Is there a word, deliverers?
You just made it up.
Is that a word?
It's a new word.
It is now.
Okay,
Yep,
good,
it is
good.
now. We'll put it in our lexicon.
All right.
Got it.
So, Chief, what do you got? This is just my stuff's boring. What's going on with you?
Well, a couple things. As I've mentioned in the last couple vlogs, we have a lot of weather out there, high surf, high tides. We've had a lot of complaints about heavy traffic along Scenic and the dangers of the waves. We've put together a little bit of a plan to have some volunteers, our CERT members, going out and warning people of the high surf, trying to get people off rocks, off cliffs, off the beach that might be in danger. So you might see them out this weekend, and I'm committed to that for at least the next 3 weekends, just to help protect the community, because we
Awesome.
really don't want to see an accident, and this is the time of year when we usually do have one, so
Yeah.
trying to avoid that.
Well done.
Good news on the horizon as we track our hospitalizations and the number of COVID infected across the county, those numbers are going down. It's a downward trend that we've seen for the last week, so that's a positive indicator of where we're headed. Mm-hmm. The state is also working on getting vaccines out as fast as possible, and we want to do our part to help our community. We already have our fire department personnel trained and able to give out the vaccine. And as of today, we should have almost all of our police officers vaccinated. We already have all of our fire and ambulance personnel vaccinated, as well as our CERT members who are able to get out and help out in emergencies.
Great.
So we're moving in the right direction.
And the dispatchers.
And dispatchers, I'm sorry, I need to include them. So what we're working on now is getting our own paramedics certified, and we have all that application process completed, and it's being reviewed at the county level. Once we get that taken care of, our paramedics will be able to help vaccinate our community. And so we're looking at ways we can open up maybe a drive-through clinic here in town to help get as many people vaccinated as quickly as possible, because that's the issue the state's having right now, is enough people to administer the vaccine. So we want to do everything we can to help our community so we can rebound and get healthy and get life back to normal as quickly as possible.
Oh, great. Well, thank you, Chief. That's
You're
great
welcome.
news. Great news all around. And I do understand that, there is a 15-minute waiting period after you're vaccinated, a monitoring period to ensure that someone doesn't have some kind of a reaction, anaphylactic shock being the most potentially significant. And that monitoring has to be done by a medical professional. So
Correct.
an EMT, a paramedic, a nurse, a physician, obviously, a dentist. So again, trying to find a large enough area where there can be a waiting area in our village so we can have the vaccination going into the arm and then the person being monitored for a bit. So
Correct.
right on. Thanks. Well, wear your masks,
Wear your mask.
unlike us up here,
Yep.
and then the hill we climb. And then how do we always close it, Brandon?
These vlogs,
Yep.
Yeah.
progress is fragile, right?
Oh,
That's
that
a
is
good
one.
That's
And
yeah,
take
it is, and well said.
Yeah,
take good care.
take good care, that's right.